This article refers to the pagan goddess Brigid. For the saint of that name, see Saint Brigid.Brigit. Brigid was a goddess of pre-Christian Ireland. She appears in Irish mythology as a member of the Tuatha Dé Danann, the daughter of the Dagda and wife of Bres, with whom she had a son named Ruadán. It has been suggested that Brigid is a continuation of the Indo-European dawned goddess. She is associated with the spring season, fertility, healing, poetry and smithcraft. Cormac's glossary, written in the 10th century by Christian monks, says that Brigid was the goddess whom poets adored, and that she had two sisters, Brigid the healer and Brigid the smith. This suggests she may have been a triple deity. Saint Brigid shares many of the goddess's attributes, and her feast day was originally a pagan festival marking the beginning of spring. It has thus been argued that the saint is a Christianization of the goddess. Familial relations. She is identified in Le Borgabala Erin as a daughter of the Dagda and a poet. The same passage mentions that she has two oxen, Phaean men, that graze on a plain named after them, Femin. She also possessed the king of boars, Torc Triath, and Cirb, king of wethers, from whom Mag Cirb is named. The animals were said to cry out a warning, and thus Brigid is considered the guardian of domesticated animals. As the daughter of Dagda, she is also the half-sister of Sermaid, Aengus Midia, and Bod-Bdug. Overview. In Cathmage Tuiriad, Brig invents keening, a combination of weeping and singing, while mourning for her son Ruadán, after he is slain while fighting for the Fomorians. She is credited in the same passage with inventing a whistle used for night travel. Brigid is considered the patroness of poetry, smithing, medicine, arts and crafts, cattle and other livestock, sacred wells, serpents and the arrival of early spring. In the Christian era, 19 nuns at Kildare tended a perpetual flame for the saint, which is widely believed to be a continuation of a pre-Christian practice of women tending a flame in her honor. Her festival day, Imbolc, is traditionally a time for weather prognostication. Thigan Natheras and Toladon Bride, Gedrob Tritroi and Dhent Sneech Galer. The serpent will come from the hole on the brown day of Bride, though there should be 3 feet of snow on the flat surface of the ground. In her English retellings of Irish myth, Lady Augusta Gregory describes Brigid as a woman of poetry, and poets worshipped her, for her sway was very great and very noble, and she was a woman of healing along with that, and a woman of smith's work, and it was she first made the whistle for calling one to another through the night. Her British and continental counterpart Brigantia seems to have been the Celtic equivalent of the Roman Minerva and the Greek Athena, goddesses with very similar functions and apparently embodying the same concept of elevated state, whether physical or psychological. She is the goddess of all things perceived to be of relatively high dimensions, such as high-rising flames, highlands, hill forts and upland areas, and of activities and states conceived as psychologically lofty and elevated, such as wisdom, excellence, perfection, high intelligence, poetic eloquence, craftsmanship, healing ability, druidic knowledge and skill in warfare. In the living traditions, whether seen as goddess or saint, she is largely associated with the home and hearth and is a favorite of both polytheists and Catholics. A number of these associations are attested in Cormac's glossary. Brigid and Saint Brigid. In the Middle Ages, the goddess Brigid was syncretized with the Christian saint of the same name. According to medievalist Pamela Berger, Christian monks took the ancient figure of the mother goddess and grafted her name and functions onto her Christian counterpart. Saint Brigid of Kildare. Saint Brigid is associated with perpetual sacred flames, such as the one maintained by 19 nuns at her sanctuary in Kildare, Ireland. The sacred flame at Kildare was said by Giraldus Cambrensis and other chroniclers to have been surrounded by a hedge, which no man could cross. Men who attempted to cross the hedge were said to have been cursed to go insane, die, be crippled. The tradition of female priestesses tending sacred, naturally occurring eternal flames is a feature of ancient Indo-European pre-Christian spirituality. Other examples include the Roman goddess Vesta and other hearth goddesses, such as Hestia. Both the goddess and saint are associated with holy wells at Kildare and many other sites in the Celtic lands. Well dressing, the tying of clooties to the trees next to healing wells, and other methods of petitioning or honoring Brigid still take place in some of the Celtic lands and the diaspora. Festivals. St. Brigid's feast day is on the 1st of February, celebrated as St. Brigid's Day in the Roman Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church and by the Anglican Communion. The Gaelic festival coincides with Imbolc, which is a pagan festival associated with the goddess Brigid. Other names and etymology. Old Irish Brigid came to be spelled Brigid by the modern Irish period. Since the spelling reform of 1948, this has been spelled Bríg. The early form gave rise to various forms in the languages of Europe, starting from the medieval Latin Brigid.Brigit, suggested by the written form, and from there to various modern forms, such as English Brigit and Brigit, French Brigit, Swedish Birgitta, Italian Brigia and Finnish Pirita. Bride, Frade, changes to Frade in some place names such as Clansamfrade equals St. Bride's Village and Clansoundfrade ym chain. Breo Sighead, Brigandu, Brigantia, Braga, Braganca, Brigantes, Bregens,